Good morning, everybody. Listen, spirit was on me in the shower, baby. I done cried this morning already. So listen, I'm here. I just want to take a moment to talk about Kirk Franklin. And truth be told, like I seen a video of Kirk Franklin, and his son, and I could see in Kirk, he done. You cut off, son. You out there by yourself. I could see it because I could see the pain and the frustration, right? But I could also see, the frustration in his child and and the son, whatever. But people aren't perfect, parents aren't perfect, and children aren't perfect, right? Children are a reflection of you. They're the very thing that you haven't overcome. And y'all, this is driving me nuts. Anyways, for example, my children are 18, 12, 3, and 2. Lord, I don't know how old my kids are. 18, 12, 4, and 2. He'll be 3 in a minute. Anyways, my first 2 kids are very logical, right? They're smart, but they're emotional, it's kind of in a sense. They have emotions, they just don't understand them because I didn't have these emotions to give them. And so with them, I'm always like, you're not listening, you don't care, what are you going to, just flustered. But that's me. It was the same thing that my mom was flustered in me, right? And so with you are the reflection. They are you. So you have to find ways to overcome you, right? So they're very nonchalant and they're very intelligent. And so it's frustrating, right? Now, my 4-year-old and my 2-year-old, well, sweetheart, they exude emotions, right? And intelligence. And so they are another test. I, quite frankly, am impatient, right? Well, with my older set of kids, they don't know which way to go. Their biggest complaint is they don't know how to please me because I was so concentrated on perfection, right? I didn't want them to have bad character. But I didn't understand how to explain the character I didn't want them to have. I just knew I didn't want them to have it. So if I seen it, I did what I would know to correct it, and that's like discipline, right? But I never explained what they were doing or what exactly qualifies good or bad character, so they just felt like they weren't good enough and nothing they do will ever be satisfying for me, right? And that's an awful feeling to have, knowing your kids view you that way, right? It hurts to feel like you're the enemy to your children, right? So with my younger kids, well, they just are abundance of emotions, right? Just uncontrolled emotions all over the place. Well, my emotions were all over the place because when I had my second set of kids, I actually started to feel so many emotions because I was suffering from postpartum depression. And so I was emotionally unbalanced, right? And so what I had to learn to help myself and to listen to those around me is that emotionally I needed to get a grip. I needed to have some balance because my emotions and my logic, they were just all over the place. And it wasn't that they were wrong. They just didn't have a direction. And so no one know if I was going or coming, because I didn't know if I was going or coming. But what I did know is that somewhere someone had me effed up, right? Like, that's it. Well, what we find out is it's ourselves. You gotta know yourself, right? Because when you know yourself, you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, you know what you cannot give or what you need help to give, right? So for me, I started to surround myself with people that I felt showed some type of emotion, like compassion, right? I started with people who showed compassion, because it wasn't that I wasn't loving or nurturing. I didn't know how to show that loving and nurturing side of me, I didn't have all this feminine energy. Yeah, I'm a woman, mother, all those things, but being what people felt a woman or a mother should be like, what society said they should be, I wasn't. And it was very difficult because there was some of it I wanted to give. And then the other part is like, is that all there is to being a woman, right? You're following, you're submitting, you're the maid, you're the cook, you're the help, right? And it just never sat right with my soul. So like for me, as a child, I never dreamed of like being a wife or a mother or none of those things, right? I just wanted to be like this power attorney that like fought for civil rights, and I walk in a courtroom, everybody gets scared type of ordeal, because I had a passion for, equality and justice. But then, life happens, and, I was damaged, and I just failed. Like, I lost myself, right? And in the battle, like, you have kids so young, and you don't know who you are yet, well, you're just dragging them through the battlefield with you, right? And you have to understand that they're picking up these wounds that you are receiving, right? And so you have to heal your wounds so your children know how to heal theirs. You can't heal everybody's wounds, but you can start with yours, because that is a skill set that you give your children so that they can have in the future. Because there will come a time where your children's children will need to know how to forgive their parents. And your children will need to know how to take accountability and learn how to forgive so they can be forgiven. But they also have to understand that balance and what that means, and that there's duality. That yes, you can forgive, but you don't keep doing the same thing. And so I'm rambling, but baby, I don't know. Spirit got so much on me at once. I probably should have just took a deep breath. Anyways, I got places to be. Bye.